Welcome, gathered friends, to the first real set review of the Chima Retrospective. I'm your host, Paleozoic Bricks, and today we're looking at set 70000, Razcal's Glider. It was released in the winter wave of January of 2013, and it came with 109 pieces and retailed for $11.99. This is the smallest of the traditional sets for 2013, and our first major Raven set. This was the only regular release for the Ravens. This set only contains one minifigure, the titular Razcal. This is the second set we looked at with this minifigure, the first being the polybag Razcal's Double Crosser. Compared to the other Ravens, he is arguably the most uninteresting due to his lack of prosthetic appendages. While the Ravens aren't my favorite tribe, I feel that's what makes them so interesting on a visual level. Generally, we don't see these parts used too much unless they are for pirates. Legends of Chima introduced many, and I mean many, new parts. The first I'd like to talk about in this set is part 11100, minifigure Wing Feathered. Out of all the parts introduced in the Legends of Chima, I feel this one is the most prolific. This all dawned on me while watching LEGO Masters Season 4, Episode 6. The contestants of Emily and Kelly used the part for their 1-to-1 scale clarinet. They had a lot of nice part usage, including the wing. It's one of those parts where the theme of Origin's legacy will live on in every set that uses the piece. Sadly, that didn't translate to what in all reality should have been the most prolific piece, the 4-point crystal. It's the absolute perfect companion piece to the 5-point crystal. Yet LEGO refuses to do anything with this part. This part comes in 3 colors. Yes, you heard that, 3. All originating in this theme. Too many times I've seen this part used only in its debut color. In just 2023 alone, it's in a Ninjago set and a Monkey Kid set, but it's still in the blue it came in 2013. Yeah, this part has only been around for a decade, and it's only ever used like how it originally appeared. I'm bewildered by this fact. My biggest question is, why can't LEGO recolor this part? It doesn't seem like it's a specialized mold. I don't think it's due to structural integrity like the Mixel joints. I'm just left baffled at why couldn't I get them in trans neon green before the color retired. The part could have been used for great Rock Raiders mocks, but we're left in the dust wondering what could have been. I wish LEGO would use this piece more often. It's a great part that has limitless potential that keeps getting shafted. Razcal's Glider is a small flying vehicle in the shape of a raven, and if you mistook it for a crow, I don't blame you. While being in the shape of a raven, you could still tell it's a vehicle. The head and the body are fused together, creating a very aerodynamic shape. The wings of the glider are a new piece introduced in this set, part 11091. They are in a lot of Chima sets with bird characters going forward. It feels like a part designed for the character and creature building system first, more than anything else. It has a lack of greebles and texture that affects most CCBS parts. The designers love to overuse this part in some instances, but luckily the glider is not one such set. The amount that it's used is just enough on this set before it can become overkill, and that's why the wings are one of my favorite parts of this set. The piece is also used as the tail fin. It really works wonders on the glider, the purple being a great choice. It has vents on the side of the raven head, and due to the curved brick, it looks like an engine. On its underside, it has claws that can grab onto anything you could think of. Notably, the Exoforce arms that make up the claws are attached to a blue piece. These are the only 2 in the set, and yet they blend so well. They break up the color scheme, giving it some nice definition. This set has a gimmick too. When you press the trans red cone brick, the chain launches. Interestingly, the box depicts the chi crystal on the chain compared to where the instructions tell it to go. Apparently it's for capturing other minifigures, but this is why the gimmick falls flat for me. Personally, maybe if the chain was longer I could see it, but for the moment I don't. Razcal's weapon is the Bulwark. It's made of pieces on the set itself, the side tail fin parts, and the droid body on the side. As a positive, this set has weapon storage, but as a negative, the parts need to be taken off the set itself to be constructed. But that could be its strength too. The glider is so much of a dangerous scrap heap, the Ravens just take parts off of it to fight. Going forward, weapon storage is going to be a big part of how I look at these sets. Chima weapons are notoriously huge and cumbersome. Having a place to store the weapon means it won't be lost. As the first true outing for the normal sets, this set just doesn't impress me that much. It's your standard flyer that happens to be in the shape of a bird. I think it's because the glider doesn't feel cobbled together out of spare parts. For the Ravens, at least lore-wise, all their stuff is made of cheap junk and stolen goods. They should feel like a Rube Goldberg machine, but as if it were a flying contraption. Due to its small part count, it feels closer to an old space flyer, not a miracle flying machine. The issue might be due to a lack of sticker detailing. I know it's strange to say that. Who actually likes stickers to begin with? But remember what I said about the head looking like an engine? Well, what if you put an engine sticker on there? Now it can't be interpreted, but now it is definitively an engine. On the bright side, it still keeps the shape of the Raven head, but doubles as an engine more clearly. However, because the set doesn't have stickers, it uses printed tiles that are set exclusive. It's always nice to get prints, but this may have been the one time I asked for stickers over prints. Looking at the larger Raven set, the Chi Raider, it uses dark green for its vents. I think changing it to black could have really added to the aesthetic that this was built from junk. I feel the green gives an oxidized copper look, just the right shade to not overpower the black and ruin the color scheme. On top of breaking up the color scheme, using it would be scientifically accurate to the real animal. Just like its smaller cousin, the crow, ravens have iridescent feathers. You can typically see the colors green, blue, and purple. This is where the Native Americans got the legend of the rainbow crow from, in order to explain how they can both be pitch black and rainbow at the same time. That's the multi-level design meanings that we could have had with this set, but at least it's on another set. This set is very similar to the Double Crosser, in the fact the scrap heap aesthetic doesn't come out at a first glance. You really have to examine it with all the Chima sets to figure it out. Plus, I feel you need to understand the lore to get it. I feel a good set should be able to be looked from a glance and just get it. Sadly, I feel these vehicles, it's just not the case. I believe it comes down to the small size. I do understand the animal motif, but not the scrap motif, and I feel that's where these sets fail. I feel the aesthetic I'm looking for is that of the Ninjago Sky Pirates. They have the junkyard aesthetic I'm looking for. I think I just wanted these two vehicles to be more abstract and more vehicle-like, and less real Raven. I feel the best example of what I want is Misfortune's Keep. With the unique scrap aesthetic, apparently I'm not the only one. Nick on Planet Ripple also thought so much he turned it into a Raven vehicle. Sadly, this is not the most impressive set in the lineup, but it only means it's uphill from here, and our next review in this retrospective is just that. I'm Paleozoic Bricks, and unleash the power.